Okay, last session we learned about the selectors, how to work with them. How do you use the selectors and units? We learned about the CSS units. CSS units. Two types of units are there, absolute units and relative. Relative units adjust according to the parent, and absolute units are independent, they are directly applied. Next, one more, these we will use in examples, we will implement them. Next, CSS, we need to understand about colors. CSS colors. Already we know few of them. Already in colors we know few of them. Already we know CSS can use colors by color name. We already know that. And CSS can use color by using hexa code, right? Hexadecimal code. We know this also. Hexadecimal code. And CSS colors can be defined with RGB. RGB is a method, and it can be defined with RGBA method. And you can also define HSL, but for HSL you have to learn background effects, then you can handle. So initially colors in CSS can be defined with color name, hexa code, RGB, RGBA. All we learned now, we discussed all of them. So color name, suppose we want to define the color name. Color name we configure like this. So color name, then we define a heading, just we have to use color as red, that is color name. How you can give hexa code? Hexa code heading, so we have color, so we can use hash 3 characters or 6 characters code. So that is 0 to F, right? You have to define red color means FF0000, right? Or you can also use hash F00. You can write like this. That is hexa code. And RGB can be defined, RGB color here, RGB red, green, blue. What is the range? Range of red, green and blue, 0 to 255. Every color range will be 0 to 255. That means red range can be 255, green will be 0, blue will be 0. 0 to 255 range for every color. Already I told you one more, RGBA. RGBA is alpha, right? That means transparent. We designed Netflix, na? In that Netflix we used alpha, right? That means we have used color RGBA and some 25500. This is red color with 0.6 transparency. Alpha can be from 0. So A is equal to 0.0 to 1. It can be defined from 0.0 to 1. That is RGBA. These are the basic CSS colors. Already we know them. These basic colors, we already worked with them. Now we are going to learn some more with effects like backgrounds and all. We have to learn backgrounds, then we can apply more gradients and all. Initially, CSS colors, basically these, depending on, because color names are limited, you can get more colors with RGB and hexa. And if you want transparency in the color, then we can go with RGBA, right? Next important after understanding CSS colors, because we don't need to invest much time here because already we learned and used everywhere. Now CSS inheritance. You need to know about CSS inheritance. Inheritance related options, you have to know about inherit, initial and unset. Inherit, initial, unset. These three are the inheritance related values, inheritance values. Actually, these also situation wise we will use. First we will understand what they are, then we can use in examples depending on requirements. Actually, these are the values. That means inheritance is the process of extending functionality. Inheritance is the process of extending functionality. The process of extending functionality and allowing to reuse the existing values. Allows to reuse the existing values. And inheritance values are present in this way. Inheritance values are defined in this way. Actually, the inheritance related options, basic example I will give you here. See, suppose we have in the body there is a paragraph and we have a list item. Now for body section, I given the color as red. That means everything will be red color. And list item should implement the same color, so that whenever the body color changes, this also should change. So that's combinations. Actually, list item is in the body only, but you can use a class name. Class name will give more priority than type. ID will give more priority. In that case, what you can do is we can put color and the value will be inherit. We don't use the color name. Inherit indicates what's the parent value. The same value it will use. This is extending the functionality of body and reusing the value. We are reusing the value. That means we are not rewriting this value. We are just reusing that value. That means it inherits that value. For example, you see initially when we define that, usually list item also inherits the same. That means it will be in red color. It will display in red color. Anyhow, in the body, you can use IDs, classes and all priority wise. But what is the meaning of the word inherit? I haven't given any color. So that means now if I change here, automatically it will affect there. It will affect there. It is going to affect there. Inherit is that. And suppose we don't want this to inherit and use it. Now by default it is inherit. By default it is inherit. That means by default those body values are inherited by default. If you don't give inherit until or unless you give some specific color, by default it is using inherit only. Then you can define as initial. You can define as initial. Initial means before inheriting what is the color. Before inheriting what is the color? Initial. That means before inheriting it was black. After inheriting it became the body color. That is what actually initial. Initial means now if when you apply for body, obviously it is going to apply for everything in the body. But for one element I don't want to apply. then I will say that for this element initial. Initial means before the color implemented, what was the color. Actually the same effect works with unset also. Unset, people think that both are same but both are not same. Unset means removing the effects. Removing the effects. Unset indicates removing the effects. Removing the effects. Removing the effects means it will remove the effects that are adapted from the body. If it is removed, then automatically after removing, what color will come? After removing, which color will come? Same initial color only will come. That is the reason unset also looks like here you can see it looks like initial. That means it will remove that unset and it gets the color, initial color, but not initial color, it gets the body color. That means whatever effects are given to this one, those effects will be cleaned up. Those effects will be cleaned up and it will looks like body color on. So sometimes these are same, looking like same. I will give you another example. Sometimes they look like same. See, suppose body is having color. So body is having border, some 2 pixel solid and red, and the body is having padding. So padding as suppose 4 pixel. I want all these effects to be implemented for list item also. So this is actually body for list item also. Then we have to define here as all I defined as unset. All I defined as unset, it's not applied. If I define all as inherit, I am using inherit, but still it is not working. Why? Because this you will understand in a concept called detail we will see, because we are still not into every concept understood. So this you will understand in a concept called this reusability, inheriting and unsetting, you will understand in a concept called SAS. We will learn about that SAS, then there you will have more clarity, because CSS will not allow much reusability, extensibility. It has inherited options, but reusability, extensibility is not there. If reusability, extensibility is not there, then what we have to do is we have to implement that by using a mechanism called SAS. We call it as pre-compiler. When we are using this SAS pre-compiler, you will clearly understand all these scenarios, right? Initially, I am just giving a point. Later, we are going to learn about them, because as per the CSS order, first we need to know CSS selectors, then CSS units, CSS colors and CSS inheritance. How to implement them later we will see, depending on examples. Actually, we want all these effects to be used everywhere. If we want these effects to be used everywhere, we don't need to write them, we can reuse them. For that we need to learn CSS related pre-compilers. That's what people call as lessons as. There, this is very important. Inheritance and initialization, unset, all these things are important when reusability is used. Directly on CSS, we don't use every time. Where we use, I will show you. We will discuss. So 3 options are there. If I use here unset, unset means all the effects are not applied. All the effects are not applied. So here the effects are not applied. You can also define in this way. Actually, you can say color is unset. Color is unset. Or you can say color I want as what? Initial. And border we are using inherit. And padding I am using as reset. So unset I am using like unset. That means what is the meaning of this? Color will be set to initial color. Initial color means what it will be the initial color? Initial color will be black. It will be set to initial color. but border it has to inherit, and padding it should unset. For that we need to add that reusability concept that we will see later. So what is the meaning of CSS inheritance? In interviews regularly this question comes for freshers, and you will able to answer with example after few topics we learned. So what is initial, inherit and unset? Initially just we need to make a note about this point, that is inherit indicates, inherit implements the parent effects, implements the parent effects. Initial sets the default, initial sets the default effects, and unset clears all effects. That's what the meaning actually. But these we will control dynamically. We need to understand and work with them dynamically. Dynamically we will see. For that we need to learn some more topics. Then we can clearly implement them. So just a syntax I will give here. Body, and body color is some red. I don't want a paragraph or a list item inside the body to implement it. Then what we have to do? Color we will put as initial. We'll put as initial. This you can do in as of now. Others we will see with examples. Because for that we need to learn reusability in CSS, implementation in CSS. Then we can implement these attributes. But these are very regularly used options. That means in the place of value, we will have initial or unset or inherit. This is CSS inheritance related options. Now after understanding the CSS inheritance, now we need to learn the CSS effects. In CSS effects, the first one we have to understand CSS box model. CSS box model. This also we know. We already learnt all these things in general HTML itself, but organized way we are learning now. We are keeping in a correct place. Already we used them. Box model is nothing but how you can present the content with spacing and padding and margins. That means in box model comprises of one is margins, box model contains of padding, box model contains of border. These three comes under box model, and already we know them. We learnt about margin, we learnt about padding, and we know about border. Some extra are there, we will see that here, what we can understand. What is box model? Box model means how you can keep the content inside the page with space and margins. This is called box model. Under box model, we have margins, padding, and border. So for example, see, already we learnt it, but one more time, technically organized way we will see. Suppose this is a container, and you know that this is called, that container that is called as border. That is border. And this container is present in a page. This space is called margin. That means in the page where that container is present, left how much, top how much, bottom, that is margin. And in this container we have some content. That means we have some paragraph. Some paragraph we are having inside that, and the space between the border and the paragraph, this is padding. Already we know that. So we know the margins, we know the padding, and we know the border. So here additionally some new things, extra attributes you need to know. Generally, what is margin, what is padding, what is border, we already worked in several situations. Here the point is we can apply in several ways. Actually, margins is nothing but sets space between the container and page, between the page margins, container and page margins, sets space between container and page margins, space between container and page margins. We have options like margin, we have like margin left, we have like margin right, we have like margin top, we have like margin bottom, like this. These are the options we have. And margin is all directions. We call that as shorthand attribute. Shorthand attribute in CSS means the attribute which applies all effects. If it is applying all directions and all, then it is called shorthand. That means margin, all directions, shorthand. That is shorthand. And the left, right, top, bottom, we can give individually how you want the margin to display. And no need to explain this, already you know that. Here you see, suppose we are defining some content here. So let's add some paragraph. So we are adding some paragraph here. Yep. And put a paragraph. Now we want to apply the effect for the paragraph. And here we return as P. So that is the paragraph. For paragraph, when we want to set margins, so generally the paragraph looks like this. When we want to set the margin for paragraph, actually we can write margin. Here we have to define the values. Don't go on this help. Remember, this help that comes, the IntelliSense list, it is not professional help. Some outdated options also will be there. Don't think that these are all the suggestions, help given to you. In that, so many outdated things are there. Because this is not officially provided by CSS people. That means whatever you see here, some are outdated, some don't work on various browsers. So don't go on that. That is just only additional advantage, right? So here, when we are using margin, suppose I am defining 50 pixel, then it will give 50 pixel, all directions, 50 pixel will come. You can write like this, 50 pixel, 30 pixel, 10 pixel, and 20 pixel, like this. That means these are shorthand values. That means all direction. So that means actually, so 10 pixel, 20 pixel. So these are the directions. 10 pixel, this is left. And 20 pixel, this is right. And 50 pixel is top. That means top, bottom, left, right. Top, bottom, left, right. Bottom, you know that it will appear when there is some bottom content. The margin will appear. That means you can apply all of them like this. Values can be defined like this. Or you can individually write. That means margin left, how much margin top, how much separately you can configure them. So that means you can write in this way. So that means shorthand way, syntactically. For a paragraph, suppose shorthand margin will be in this way. So margin, shorthand means we have to give top, we have to give bottom, left, and right. So don't use comma, just space is enough. you have to write like this: top, bottom, left, right. The values need to be configured in this way, or you can individually define left margin, top margin, right margin, bottom margin, you can add. So that is the margins. That means how you configure the margin. Individually, if you want, you can write separate. What is it? Margin left, margin right, margin top, like that. So you can use a shorthand or you can configure individual. Next, padding, already we know, space, but for padding you need to keep a border. Again, in border, so many options will be there. So this is margin. Next important, we have border. So sets border for container. Sets border for container. It can be any container. It can be anything. Image, tables, paragraphs, divs, spans. Anywhere you can put a border. And very important here, when you are defining border, again, so border is shorthand. This is shorthand. That means you can apply all effects to border. But actually, we also have border left. Border left. In border left, we are having, this is left shorthand. Left shorthand. Left shorthand. Why it is left shorthand, I will tell you. So similarly, border right shorthand, border top shorthand, border bottom shorthand. These are shorthands. So left shorthand, right shorthand, and top and bottom. Why? Because again we can individually define the options. I will show you the point here. See, all these days when we were applying border, we were directly applying border 2 pixel solid some color. Actually, so we are applying 2 pixel solid color. What are these 3 values? That is red. So what are these 3 values? First one is size. Second one is style. Third one is color. That means border contains size, style, and color. Actually, we can apply like this: border left style. So individually, or I can write like this: border left. It is left shorthand. Here we can put here style. Style, width, and color. Width is suppose 10 pixel. Style is some double, and color is some red. Now you can see that this is border left. Left border will be applied like that. That's only left border. Now I want top border. Then we have to define border top. Border top 10 pixel. Again double border and red color. And border top also it will be in this way. And I am defining here as border right. Border right. Border right as 10 pixel. Suppose I said solid, and or we have several styles like groove, like this. We have like dashed, like this styles will be there. I said some blue, and it will be red blue. So that is the blue. And I want the bottom border. That means border bottom. Border bottom again 10 pixel, dashed and blue. So, and you can see it will display in this way. You can define border in any way. Separate also. Top separate border, bottom different thickness you can define. So actually these are left short, right shorthand, and top and bottom shorthand. Actually Without shorthand, you have to write like this: border left style. So your border left style means what styles you can apply. So we can apply like double, you can apply like dashed, you can apply like solid, you can apply like groove. All these things we can apply. Similarly, we have a border right style. Understood? Similarly, we have border top style. And we have border bottom style. Bottom style. Like this you can apply. That is style, what style you want. And another option we can define. These video people. Right. So here border left, right, top and bottom styles. And similarly, we also have border left color. So that means you can define color name or color code or anything. And the same will be there for all. That means what you have to do, border right color, border top color, so many effects are there. So border bottom color like this. You need to know that for border such effects are present. That means so many effects are present. You need to know this. Because we can separately apply with different effects and styles. Now what about thickness? Border left width. Border left width is nothing but units. How much you want. So pixels. Similarly, border right width, border top width, and like border bottom width, all these. What is the advantage of shorthand? Already I told you, na, shorthand means I can say border left. And in border left, you can apply 3 effects. What are those? Color and style and width. If you want everything separately configured, you can try this. You can use all this. These are all actually CSS border attributes only. These are all border related attributes. Next important, after configuring these, border has one more important option is border radius. Border radius. Border radius, so it can define rounded corners. Rounded corners. It can define rounded corners. You can use border radius to define the rounded corners. Border radius is for defining the corners. So generally, if you want, you can apply directly here. Now border radius. Border radius, I defined some 40 pixels. And it will apply the border radius like this. That means corner will be curved. Of course, now you have to give padding space between that. We need to adjust that. And very important is actually when you are using border radius, this border is having again left radius, top radius, bottom radius like that. Actually, we have border radius, direction C, border radius, it is corners. This is shorthand. That is the shorthand way how you can apply. Actually, border radius, when you define radius, actually observe here, right side corner I want to apply, radius curved. Left side bottom I want to apply. That means I want curved here and here only. I don't want these two curved. If I give border radius, it apply everywhere. Then how you write the effect for this? That means we have to write border top right radius. Understood? Border top right radius. That's top right radius. And another one, border bottom left radius. That's how you write. If you want to apply only certain corner, we don't want everywhere, then you have to define like many of such effects are used and designed. That means, so let's keep this and see. So this is shorthand. We have border right, border top right radius, top right radius, border top left radius, and border bottom right radius, and border bottom left radius. So that is border radius, how you can apply. That is important for border radius. You need to configure this border radius with all these options, so that only certain corners will be having. That means no need to give entire. Suppose border top right radius is suppose 20 pixel. That means it will apply only that right radius. Others are sharp borders. Border right or border bottom, you can apply both. Individually, you can configure. Such type of designs are very common, right? Because sometimes you see somebody writes like an offer. When they write the word offer, they will put like a tag. The tag contains a border, one side curved, other sides not curved. Such effects and all we design by using this kind of concept on, right? That is done by using this border radius and all. We will put them. We will take one website sample and we will see where they are using these borders and we will try to replicate that. Then you will have more clarity on this. So this is border radius. We also have a border image. Border image, it sets image as border. But so much complications are there. It will set image as border, but so many complications are there. Complications means your image must suit for border, right? Already we have experienced so many points till now that people come with a complaint, it's not working, right? So why it is not working? So many reasons. Because the image that you taken is not suitable for border and you are trying as border, it will not work, it will not display. Because border is very thinner area and the image that you are setting as border, it should be having correct appearance. Otherwise, you cannot handle that. Let's see, for example, and so many rules are there for applying that. Actually, we have an option, border image. We have an image. Image uses URL. Border image URL. Image URL, we can use the path from assets. Suppose I have a bullet.png. Bullet is a small one, small image I am having as PNG. That is border. But you can see it's not working. That's what I said. That means the combinations, the effects and options that we apply, these are very important. First point, as per the border image, to apply border image, what is the rule is, we have to note that you cannot apply border image without configuring border. That means you cannot apply border image so without configuring the border. That means first you need to apply the border. First you need to apply the border. Then we have to apply the border image. That means syntactically in a paragraph, we have border, some 10 pixel solid, and suppose I given red color, then border image. Border image, you can apply URL and path. You have to configure that URL and path. This is very important. Without applying the border, you cannot apply an image for border. There must be border, then image. Still, it's not satisfied. You need to tell how the border image should apply on border. That means how it should spread on the border, because images cannot fit for border. Then how they can set for border? So many things are there. For example, see now. Here I am using border. And I given as 20 pixel, so solid. And I don't want any color because useless. Even you give the color, the image is going to dominate. Then we use transparent. Transparent is used to make the border available but not to display. Border should be there, but it should not display. Even you give color, doesn't matter. Even you give the color, doesn't matter. But this will have some problem if image is unable to load. I already told you, in a browser, we can disable images. Remembered, na? In a browser, we can disable images. If images are disabled, then border images will not load, general images will not load. Then what is the advantage of giving red color? If border image is not loading, then automatically this color will come. So transparent advantage is it will put empty space instead of the border. That's the reason. Alternatively, we can configure. But still, this is not satisfied. This is not satisfied. You see, 4 corners are coming. The 4 corners are coming. That means now it's working fine, but 4 corners it is applying. Now we need to tell how to spread this star as border. That means how we can spread this star, because 4 corners coming. Even you design any image, any complex image, for example, suppose we have large images. So I am giving assets like some shoe.jpg. Shoe.jpg as border. You see, small shoe image comes. That means the border images are coming. It's working fine. And important here, thickness I given as 100 pixels, then image will size increase. That means border image don't have size, border have size. That means you have to apply the border and you have to apply the border image. Suppose I said bullet here. So we have in assets, we have bullet.png, then it will be in this way. Now, very important when you are applying the border images. So to make the borders appear in a correct format, you have to use more attributes for border. Border image is also having options like presets. Presets means how you want to spread the border and where you want to spread the border. That means you have options like stretch. We have options like stretch. But still, I already told you, you see, it is not affected because the image that we taken is not suitable for stretching. Suppose you have defined stretch, how much percent offset. Suppose I given 70. Then you see it will be nothing difference. That means this is stretch offset how much stretch, nothing happening. So why? Because border image have three options. One, URL, and how the border should display style. Style is, we have stretch, we have the option like stretch, we have like round. We can use stretch, we can use round. And the round, when I apply, you see nothing. I use stretch, nothing is there. Why? Because you have to tell how many points also, but still it is not, because the image is not suitable. Actually, that image is only one image. Even I stretch, it will not stretch. It cannot handle. That means it cannot come out of this area. So then how to design? Let's see. I will show you how to create a correct border image. Border image. So first important, another point you have to know is border image requires following values to configure. Border image requires following values to configure. So what are the values to configure? Image, A, URL, it specifies the path of image to display. B, style, it defines the display style, stretch or round. Offset is nothing but it defines the space. It defines the offset size for display style. That means stretch and all. These three combinations are very important, how you define and use them. Suppose, see here, I'm giving a image. Let's create one image suitable for this. See, I will take MS Paint. Yep. In this, I am creating an image. Let's take thinner. Okay. And let me copy this. Actually, that star we taken was only one, right? But now I will take in this way. Let's make this transparent. Yeah. I will take in this way and define that. Some down here. Yeah. I'm designing the border, because when you design a border image, that image should have all the space to keep between, right? It should have the correct space to keep between. That means it should have corners. I will fill up with this color, corners, and I will fill up with some other color. So like this I am defining. Let's keep this in this way, and I will fit this correctly to this size. Okay, and I will save this as border, and in our project folder assets, border.png. Let's apply this border.png now. Border.png is applied for that. Now you can see that's the type of image that you take. That means now I will change the thickness as 20 thickness or 30 thickness. Then it will be in this way. That means if you mismatch the images, that's what I said. Every image is not great and suitable for that. That's the reason I already told you that don't come with a complaint that border image is not working. So I have written exactly how you told, but it's not working. That means you blame on me that you told us in that way, but it is not working. So again and again I am telling what the image type you choose, depending on that the appearance will be. You cannot take every image and put as border. It's not suitable. right? And you have so many things here. I have given round. Suppose I am giving stretch, then stretch will be in this way. That means it will stretch the image and it will display. And of course, we know the padding we have to define. Already we know that padding is some 20 pixel, then it will get the space around it. Right? How you keep anywhere, I am just keeping for a paragraph. You can keep for an image, for a table, for div, for heading, anywhere you can apply. So border, I am just keeping for a paragraph. You can keep for entire body. So you can keep for entire body section, right? So that means if in that body there are so many paragraphs, in the body there are so many paragraphs, then it will apply for entire body. That means we are applying for the body section and we are defining. So, and very important, this value, offset value, suppose I given as 30, offset value I given as 30, that means it will be like this. That means how much stretch percent it should be. How much stretch percent it should be. That we can define by using this. Suppose I given 50 as stretch percent, then it will be like this. Right? It depends on how you configured and displayed the content. These are border images. Border images. We can apply for body, we can apply for paragraph, for a table, image, anywhere you can configure. And for that, we need a combination of these options to define correctly. The URL, the style and offset. See, this is how we designed border. If I have taken any another image and tried this, that means if it is not the image that you have, border.png, it is like some shoe.jpg. Right? Now you can see nothing special here. Right? You cannot see anything there happening. Just only one right, left shot, it cuts it. Because of what style, what image you are using. So that is important. Border.png. Now you can see the appearance in this. So the combination of borders is very important to apply. So syntactically, we need to write in this way. That's how we need to configure. So the body is defined with border. First, you need to set the border, how many pixels. Then you need to configure the border image and stretch percent, how much you want. It can be stretch or it can be round. So that is the border images. So in box model, we have all this. Another important in the box model, one more is padding. Already we know the padding now. It sets space around content. It sets space around content. Space around content. And here also we have same padding. Padding is shorthand. So all directions. We have individual, that is padding left, we have padding right, we have padding top, and we have padding bottom. Paragraph, some border as 2 pixels, solid red, and padding. You can give like this. So 10 pixel, 10 pixel, 5 pixel and 5 pixel means all directions, or individually you can write. Or if you give one value, the same value will be applied all. If I give padding 10, all directions 10. This is like top, bottom, left and right. Top, bottom, left and right. That's the order for margins and padding, how it applies. So this is the box model. So how in CSS you can apply margins, you can apply padding, and you can apply border. border have border images and border colors. Border colors. Border colors with different border styles. Border styles. Others, if you see different other options, they are all designed through images. You can apply through images. This is the box model. How to work with the box model. Next, after understanding the box model, now CSS, we have to know positions. CSS positions. How we can handle CSS positions. These also some we already learned. What are the CSS positions? Already we learned them, right? That's the reason CSS becomes easy for us now, because in various occasions we already learned. Position like static, position like relative, so position like sticky, position like fixed, position like absolute. These are the CSS positions. So we have the positions like this. So syntactically, so position is defined in this way. That means you have some container, some here div, and we have position. Position can be fixed like that. Now we will detailedly see, because already we used a sticky position. Example I already showed you when data terms and definitions, we discussed that. Fixed position also we have seen. Fixed position, you have seen social bar we designed. When we designed social bar like Facebook and Twitter and all icons, we kept at bottom corner, so that there we have used that fixed and all, right? But technically we need to understand the correct meaning for them, because many people even today who know CSS are confused between CSS positions. When asked in interviews, there will be lot of confusion state, because that's the reason on YouTube you can see many people will post videos saying that I am explaining positions in a simple way. When you search for CSS related tutorials on YouTube, you can watch several people taking this topic, CSS positions. Why they take this topic? Because several people don't understand this properly. Even people who are aware of CSS, learned little bit CSS, they still confused between these positions. That's the reason many people try to explain in a more better way so that they can understand. You will see several videos on this topic in CSS. Other videos you will find very less, right? You search for border images, you will see very less. We will not find much. But positions, a lot of videos will be there. What is the point actually? Why it is so confusion for a learner? If he don't understand the correct concept, it is confusion. But it is very simple and very straightforward and easy to understand. So if you see the concept correctly. First point, what is static position? Static position. Static position, it keeps the element according to normal document flow. According to normal document flow. It is the default position. It is the default position. It is not affected. It is not affected by left, right, top or bottom values, bottom position values. It is not affected by left, right, top or bottom position values. That means element will be in the same position where you kept it. It will be in the same position where you kept it. That is static position. By default, every element is in static position. It's not affected by using left, right, top, bottom positions and values. It's not there. For example, let's see here. Suppose now we are going to define a paragraph. Okay. Yeah. And let's keep a container here. Div. In a div, I am adding some content here. In a div, I am adding some content here. This a paragraph is present. Some paragraph information is present inside the div. Okay. And in the div, I am adding another div. Another div. And for this, I give ID as offer. Offer. So here I return as a special offer, or say 50% off, like this. Sale. Something like this, 50% off. Now the point is, actually the position here, this is the offer position. This is offer. I am giving border for div. So that means the div have an ID called container. Okay, for that container ID is hash container. I given border as 2 pixel solid red, and I applied some general padding, or just I will give that. So that's enough here. Now this is actually, and put a padding as some 10 pixel, fine. This is general, content is there. Now better if you don't use padding, then you will have a clear idea. I will show you that. There is another option is offer. For offer, I am defining so border as some 4 pixel solid, some blue, and background color as yellow. Width is some 100 pixel or 80, 90, 80 pixel. Like this I defined. So this is offer. Now observe here, what happens is, for this offer position I given as static. Static position means according to the document flow. According to the document flow, this offer is present in a container. That means it will still stay in the container only. According to the document flow, it will still stay in the container only. Okay. And you can see it is still in the container, because that is the default position. Default, it is in the container only. According to the document flow, it is in container, it will be in container. Okay. It is not affected by left as suppose 30 pixels, and you can see it's not affected. I said left 300 pixels, it's not affected. I am writing top as 500 pixels, it's not affected. That is the default position. Static is the default position. That means where you kept, it will be there. It will be there. This position is called as static position. By default, every element is in which position? Static. So it is very simple to understand, nothing complex. Then what is fixed position? Fixed position. And what is the absolute positions? Now you can understand. Fixed position, it removes element. It removes element from normal document flow. It removes element from normal document flow. It removes the element from normal document flow. And it keeps the element at specified position. It keeps the element at specified position using left, right, top and bottom, top and bottom. And one more point, its position is fixed and locked from scrolling. It is locked from scrolling. Fixed position is fixed and locked from scrolling. That means it will not scroll. It is locked. Scrolling is locked. So let's see these 3 points. So it removes element from normal flow and it keeps the element at specific position and locks scrolling now. Let's see the 3 things happening or not for the position. So here I will change this now. Well, default position is static. Default position is static. So I will give the position now. I will give the position as fixed. What will fixed position will do? It will remove the element from normal flow. Okay. Let's go and see. Remove na. It is removed from normal flow. Static position will keep it there. It will not change. But fixed position, it removes from normal flow. Removes from normal flow. It's done. Okay, good. After that, where you want, it will keep it. For that, we have to use positions. What is left? Or you can use right. Right, how much? 10 pixels. Then it will move right side 10 pixels. And I want top as also 10 pixels. Then top also 10 pixels. So you can adjust top 100 pixel. Then it will be 100. So you can have right as some 20 pixel. Then it will be 20 pixel. It will. But very important, it is locked scrolling. It is also locked scrolling. If you have more content, you can see. Suppose I am having more paragraph content. So more content. If I am having lot of content, we are having lot of content. Then you can see it is locked scrolling. Scrolling is locked. That means it will stay in the same position. It will stay in the same position. This is the meaning of fixed. All 3 satisfied? Removes element from normal document flow. We saw it. And it keeps the element at specified position and it locked from scrolling. That is fixed position. Next important is we have absolute position. Absolute position. Absolute position same like fixed, but will not lock scrolling. That's only the difference. Absolute position is also same like fixed, but scrolling is not locked. If scrolling is not locked, it will scroll. It will initially keep at that position and it will scroll up and down. It will scroll along with the content, Everything same. That means, is it removed from normal flow? Yes, it is removed from normal flow. Is it affected by left, right, top? Yes. Is it locked scrolling? No, it's not locked scrolling. So you can see now, I will give here. I will give the position here. Let's go into the position now. I will remove this position. Okay. And let's see, it is normal flow, according to the normal flow. Fine. We will keep position as absolute. Okay, let's check. It is removed from the flow. Absolute is removed from the flow. Okay. Then it is affected by right as 10 pixel or 20 pixel and the top as 100 pixel, it is affected by that. So it is affected by that, but it is not locked scrolling. It is not locked scrolling. So fixed is locked scrolling, but this is not locked scrolling. That means it will stay at that place only, relative to the paragraph. And the scrolling, if you want to lock, then you have to use the option called fixed. So everything is same. Everything is same. But only the point is it is not locked scrolling. Locked scrolling. That is the option how you define. So syntactically, two things here. We have some offer, and for that we are giving the options. We have position as some fixed, and we have like top 10 pixel or right 10 pixel. I given anything, right 10 pixel, and top some 100 pixel, like this we are defining. Fixed position, absolute positions are similar. Only the lock of scrolling is important. That is one. Next, another position, we have sticky position. Sticky position, so it keeps the element. It keeps the element according to normal flow of document. So that means it is not removed. It keeps the element according to the normal flow of document. But what happens is it locks scrolling. It locks scrolling after reaching. It locks scrolling after reaching specified position. After reaching specified position, top, left, bottom, or right. That means it will be in the same position. It will be in the same position, but it will lock scrolling. It will automatically lock scrolling after reaching that point. Until that point, it will keep in the same position. After reaching the point, it will lock. Already we know this. So, for example, here I have some heading. Here we have a heading. So, heading I defined something like home, about, contact. So, like this, I said some blog. Like this we define. Just temporarily for the heading 1, I applied some background color black and say color as white. Like this I define. And padding as 2 pixel. Okay. Now you see you have this heading. That is the heading we are having below. Now what I defined here, I defined heading position as sticky. That means it is not removed from the flow, it is present in the same. Sticky position will not remove from the flow, it will be according to the flow. Okay. And top I given as 0 pixel. That means now what happens is, it is according to the flow. And but when it reaches top 0 pixel, it will stick there. It will stick there. That is the sticky position. That is sticky position. This already we learned. When we learned about terms and definitions, I given one example for that. Means that's what sticky position, how it works. That means now which position in CSS will remove element from document flow? Which position in CSS will remove element from document flow? It will remove element from document flow 2 positions only. One position is fixed, another position is absolute. All other positions are according to the flow. Now, one more we have to see relative, that we will see in the next session, because it requires combination of other elements that we will see in our next session. Tomorrow we will do that. Tomorrow we will see other effects, background, text effects, border, already border we saw na, display effects, and others we will see how to handle. Okay, right. Tomorrow we'll continue.